Hey guys, today I have a really crazy clip for you from the Honorable Judge Cedric Simpson's court, which happened yesterday. He, of course, live streams all of his courtroom stuff, and there is a guy who went from having basically no charges. He was appearing before the judge for a misdemeanor trespassing charge, and he could have probably gotten that dismissed if he had a good lawyer, even though he was represented by a free lawyer, basically, assigned by the state. Not saying that they're bad, but if he had a good lawyer, he definitely would have gotten this dismissed, in my opinion. He went from that, from having the misdemeanor trespassing charge, to getting 558 days in jail in like 20 seconds flat. He went from having essentially nothing to having 558 days in jail in 20 seconds. So let's have a look at the clip.
I don't think that this happens.
No, I'm sure it's, well, really. You figured that out on your own?
You can see that earlier, literally just before this defendant appeared before him, he was very happy. Like, this is a very nice judge. He often jokes around, and I've watched a lot of his court cases, and if you treat him with respect, then he will treat you with respect. It's a very nice judge. But as you're about to see, if you treat him badly, he will treat you badly, and he will win. He is a judge, and he will always win because he's got the law on his side.
Okay. Well, I'll take the lead. I don't think that's acceptable. Yeah, right.
So in case you're wondering, these guys here at the bottom, they are defendants awaiting their turn. So they are essentially just waiting their turn after this guy who is about to appear.
Case People versus Daryl Jarrell.
So this guy's name is, it sounds like Daryl Jarrell.
Miss Ernie is so happy to see you.
I am very happy to see you. Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of
So this is the public defender. Essentially, she is assigned to his case. They have never met. These two have never met, and this is the first time that she is representing him. She is assigned by the state to represent the defendant for free, essentially. The defendant doesn't need to pay for it.
Mr. Jarrell. Please state your name.
Daryl. Okay. And where are we on his case?
Your Honor, we have not had contact prior to today. I think the number we have for you may not.
I don't have a phone.
So immediately he cuts her off, which isn't extremely nice. You can see the judge's face already, like, already this is not good. You don't cut off your lawyer when your lawyer is speaking. In fact, it's advisable that you just stay quiet. So she says that she tried to contact him on a number that obviously they have on the court documents, and he immediately said, I don't have a phone.
So whoever gave you a number is invalid.
Okay, so I'll need to figure out a way to get in touch with him so we can go over the case. Yeah.
Because she represents him. She needs time to put together a case, to look at all of the proof and the evidence in order to be able to accurately and appropriately represent him as best as possible.
So are there two separate? Got it.
So the judge says something really interesting here. Apparently, he is facing two separate charges. So there's two charges against him. I'm assuming both of them are for trespassing, even though it's not mentioned, but he is facing 2 charges. So 2 separate cases, basically.
If I give you my number,
What is,
So here she says, if I give you my number, will you be able to contact him? And listen to what he says.
you have a PO box.
I don't have a phone. I had Wellness Center. Use a PO box. I think.
Okay. Do you have an email address?
No. I'm on his radar. Use electronics.
He says, I'm under the radar, I don't use electronics. So he says he doesn't have an email address, he doesn't have a phone number. Why would this guy be, quote unquote, under the radar? He wants to stay under the radar. This guy, in my opinion, is probably a soft sit. So a soft sit is a person who thinks they know the law, they try to represent themselves very often, and he's probably also something like a conspiracy theorist, you know, those people who believe in 5G and all of that kind of stuff, because he doesn't have any electronic communication apparently. So he's about to say a whole bunch of law terms, and he's trying to sound smart by just saying that, like, this is nothing, this case is nothing, and the judge very quickly will put him in his place.
all right. So you guys are gonna be trying to figure out a way to get to make contact with each other, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, so well, the reason I say that is let me just do this. Let me give you a little bit of time so that I'm gonna turn this out to September 4th.
So this happened on August 8th, and September 4th is about a month later. So he's gonna give, the judge is gonna give them a month, almost a full month, to put together a case to be able to represent all of the facts accurately. And this is what the moron does.
2024, 9 a.m.
What's the holdup? It's trespassing.
Pardon?
I don't understand what the holdup is. It's trespassing.
What do you mean what's the holdup is?
This is it's an arraignment, right? Or a preliminary exam.
So he literally just stumbled over his words, saying 3 completely different things. An arraignment, preliminary exam, like he thinks he knows the law, and he's stumbling over himself.
No. You're not charged with a felony, so it's not a preliminary examination.
Right.
You were arraigned in this on July 24th.
Mhm.
They set this date. Your attorney hasn't been able to talk to you about the cases at all.
Okay.
So I'm trying to I can set it for 2 weeks out,
Yeah.
but the problem,
I'm tired of the state. I'm ready to leave this state as soon as possible. It's trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You guys kiss my ass.
So he's saying a whole bunch of stuff as if he knows the law. He says they can issue a warrant for him, and as long as he doesn't go back to the state, as long as he leaves the state, then they can't do anything to him. But now he made an error in saying that the judge can kiss his ass. That is very often considered contempt. Now, the judge here, like I said, this is a very nice judge. This judge would have let that slip. This judge would have just let it slip, like, okay, you're a little bit angry, but it's okay. The judge wouldn't have held him in contempt here, but the judge is going to hold him in contempt for everything else he says here.
This is
you know what? No. I'm gonna tell you what. You don't come in here, you don't.
Fuck you.
Okay, that's contempt. That's 93. Keep going.
Fuck you.
That's another
Fuck you.
93.
By the way, when he says 93, that's 93 days in jail. It's 3 months. That is the maximum that he can give for contempt. So every time this guy has an outburst, he gets 93 days consecutive for each of the different charges or instances of contempt that he is committing in court. And they are consecutive.
That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 693s consecutive.
So let's watch that again from the beginning. Like, he goes very, very quickly from being able to have a full month to sit with his lawyer, go through the case for the trespassing or the 2 trespassing cases, and he goes from that to having 558 days in jail.
Leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You guys kiss my ass. This is
You know what? You don't, no. I'm gonna tell you what.
And look at the guy's face at the bottom left as well.
Don't come in here. You don't. Fuck you. Okay, that's contempt. That's 93. Keep going.
Fuck you.
That's another
Fuck you
93.
again.
That's another 93.
Fucking did.
That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 693s consecutive.
Look at the guy's face at the bottom.
Those case, people versus Keith Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins does not want to, he does not want to unmute. He does-
I'm sorry. I just seen how you doing, Your Honor? How you doing, sir? Oh man.
I'm doing great.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, can you please state your full name for the record?
So the judge just issued more than a year, like a year and a half of jail time, and the judge is laughing about it, as he rightfully should, because that guy was just an absolute idiot, and you don't go into court disrespecting the court like that and think that nothing is gonna happen. You know, it's really unacceptable.
Yes, Keith Bernard Jenkins Jr.
You're all right, Mr. Jenkins. None of that bothered me. That guy, I don't know what his problem was. Don't worry about it. It's 693.
So here, a little bit later, after he dealt with Mr. Jenkins as well, the court clerk or whoever comes to him and asks him for the file of that other guy who he just gave 558 days to, and she asks him to confirm that it is indeed the charges, and he says, yep, 693s. So 693s is 558.
In each file?
Yep.
That's 12, right?
I wrote 6.
And that's another interesting thing. As I said, he was facing 2 separate cases. So both of those cases were heard on that date, were heard at the same time. Essentially, the lawyer was representing him for 2 cases. I'm assuming it's 2 cases of trespassing. So he was in court for 2 dates. He was in court for 2 different cases, and due to his outburst there, he basically was issued that 558 days on both of his court cases, because he was representing, well, he was being represented there on both of his cases. Both of his cases were being heard in court at that time that he had the outburst, which means that he got 6 charges against him for contempt on each of his cases, which means he has 12 times 93 days, which is 1,116 days. So he's not being charged with just 558 days in jail. He's actually being charged with 1,116 days in jail, which is absolutely insane. That's a little bit over 3 years of jail, that guy managed to rack up in less than 20 seconds. So let's hear the judge say that again.
That guy, I don't know what his front was. Don't worry about it. It's 693.
In each file?
Yep.
That's 12, right?
I wrote 6X. 6X.
6x in each file, and he had 2 cases. He was facing 2 separate cases on that day. So that's 3 years of jail in 20 seconds.
I think apparently that's a record. Actually, it's not. Somebody got 7. Oh, a long time ago. Court calls the case. People versus Edward Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, please state your name.
Edward Johnson.
And this Edward Johnson was the guy that they brought out literally after this other Jewel guy or whoever. And the judge is just joking here with the guy that he's being so nice. He's being overly nice almost, due to obviously what the previous defendant did.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. All right, what are we doing?
We are.
Everybody is so nice. You know,
Everyone is so nice because everyone just saw the judge handing out over 3 years of jail time. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot of people who fall in line after they see that he just issued 3 years of jail time. But like I said, this judge is very, very reasonable. I've watched a lot of this judge's court cases, probably over 100 hours, and this judge is really, really a nice judge. If you treat him with respect, then he will treat you with respect. But if you call him an asshole and tell him to go fuck himself, then you will get 3 years in jail. So it's up to the trial date. I'm assuming they're going to have a trial date or something like that. I'm not sure how it works if you get held in contempt, but I'm not sure if there's a statute of limitations on the charges. Like, is there a maximum, can they really issue him with 1,116 days in jail? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's really interesting, and I look forward to seeing in the next coming weeks what actually happens. I'm sure we will see different news outlets covering this as well, because it literally just happened yesterday. And yeah, I think the guy deserves it, honestly. You can't be like that, especially to a judge as nice as this. So I don't have any sympathy for that guy. Clearly he's an asshole, and sometimes assholes need to be taught a lesson. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.